Quran, let's compare Quran to other books. Let's ask others, how do you authenticate your books? That's the first common sense. Forget about our classical way. So let's say if I were to be Christian, I look at the Bible. How many versions of the Bible we have? Not copies. Bible, when I say the Bible, give you maybe through example we can prove our point. If I take a look at the Bible, good? Did Jesus write the Bible?
No.
No. Did he certify what's written in the Bible?
No.
No. Did Jesus? Now we are talking about writing, isn't it? The second one will be what? Next time we'll bring a board, okay? The second one will be, did Jesus talk that language we read now in the Bible? If you take a look at the Quran, as written, the Quran, from day one, the Prophet did not just tell people memorize it. You are talking about a person, if I want to take it as a default setting, forget about our aqidah now, talk about in general. A person living in a desert and among people who do not like writing, or they were not that much interested, they were illiterate people. هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم. Ummiyin, according to some explanations, is what they say. Okay, it's al-Qur'an, but some explanation we have. The Ummiyin, that they were literate. They did not write or read. The people who used to write and read are not Quraysh, not the atheists, people of the book usually. Okay, they cared about it. Even the poetry in Arabic, this is the epic thing. They did not care much about writing them. The only time they wrote it, they called them al-mu'allaqat. You know what's al-mu'allaqat in Arabic? We have very famous, like when I talk about Shakespeare. Oh, we have certain product for Shakespeare, okay? Wow, we say this is awesome, we talk about it, just name it. Arabic people, they had the beautiful poems, we call them al-mu'allaqat, al-sab' or al-ashr, 10. For everyone there is an author, like Imru al-Qais, Taraf ibn al-Abd, and just Zuhair ibn Abi Sufyan, just name them. So those, because Arab people were proud of their language, that's the ultimate production they had anyway, okay? The highest tech they had back then is what Arabic. They were proud of it. They considered themselves, we are the eloquent, nation. Our language cannot be beaten by any other language. Until now we can see Arabic language very powerful. Very powerful. We'll talk about it inshallah later on. So they said, this is our pride. We are going to write those and we are going to put them on Kaaba. Because this is the ultimate thing that we can do. All of a sudden, those illiterate people, a person from them, هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم. He's not an alien. He came with a new technology. He's from them. Guess what? He was different, unique. He ordered that the Quran to be written. Oh, wow. Amazing. Why? Who taught him this? That means we start seeing the hidden hand to protect the Quran. And he did not select any people. He selected an elite group, at least one of them is elite, okay? Ali bin Abi Talib, and we believe he's Masum. And that's why, brothers and sisters, when the Prophet passed away, the Shia, they talk about Ahl al-Bayt, not the Shia, Ahl al-Bayt, the household of the Prophet. They used to talk about Mus'haf Ali. What's Mus'haf Ali? Not Quran Ali. Mus'haf in Arabic means set of suhuf, that means set of pages. And that's why in Arabic, the newspaper, what do we call it? Sahifa. Okay? So Mus'haf does not mean Quran. So they say that book was written by Ali alayhi salam and has certain explanations to the Quran. So we can see now the difference between Islam and the Christianity. Christianity, who wrote the Bible? Nobody knows. Did the Jesus, order his people to write the Bible? No. Did he check whether the Bible is written? No. Among Muslims, Sunnah and Shia, they say the Prophet ﷺ used to order the Sahaba, put this ayah in this location, put this surah in this location. In Sahih al-Bukhari even, another school of thought, they say when the Prophet in his last year, Jibreel ﷺ, it came to him and they reviewed the Quran twice. They reviewed the Quran what? Twice. And guess what? I'll give you an example how to associate with this. It's very important. We don't pay attention to it. Down in the musalla downstairs, we have nice calligraphy, good work. The doctor did good work this year as well. We have اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق, isn't it? You all read it. It's on this side. This is the first what?
Verse.
The first thing Jibreel told Prophet Muhammad is what? Iqra, read. Read. Not pray, not make dua, not make fasting, no. Read. This is the key. And that's why we are here, brothers and sisters. Read. This is our life, our strength. Here. You want to be strong? You start from reading. Okay, that's the first what? Surah, isn't it? The first chapter among the famous opinion of Muslims delivered to the Prophet was read. And that chapter in Arabic we call it Surah. Do you know what Surah? Al-Alaq. Exactly. Why? Because it says اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق. But when I open the Quran, what's the first chapter in Quran? I know in English it's different, left, right, right, left. But the last chapter is Surah An-Nas, قل أعوذ برب الناس, and the first chapter is Al-Fatiha. So why it's Al-Fatiha? If the first chapter in the Quran is Iqra, Surah Iqra بسم ربك الذي خلق, Surah Al-Alaq. Why the first chapter in the Quran is Al-Fatiha? Yes.
I heard somewhere that Al-Fatiha sums up the Quran.
Yeah, but who put it the first one? The Prophet. What's your proof, Sheikh? Because the Sahaba used to call it what? Al-Fatiha. Al-Fatiha means what in Arabic? In English? Open. They consider the first opening in the Quran is Surah Al-Fatiha. Who put it there? Prophet. So even the order of the Quran, according to so many scholars, they consider it mainly was through the guidelines of. And here we get the broader point. The Rasul did not just depend on the written version. One of you, they have nice topic. His idea. He said, memorize. The Sahaba memorized the Quran. Till now, we see people, 9 years old, they memorize the Quran. Everyone in this room, we are opposite to others. And you go to church, and we get so many Christians here, that we like to have, because Islam is about, dialogue and talking to people, okay, through wisdom. So they come over. One of my points was, see all this in the mosque we have calligraphy. It's words from where? I told them, do we see a picture of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Do we see a picture of Fatima? We do not take religion personal. We care about knowledge. I was in one of the hospitals. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always be with you and protect you. And waiting for the big pain, to come. Anyway, and the hospital Christian, and the crosses all over the rooms. Cross. They were Protestant, You know what's the difference between Protestant and Catholic. Catholic, there is always the body of Jesus. Protestant, they have just the cross. It's empty. That's not our subject now. So I told the nurse, I said, you know what? I respect that you are trying to show, your faith. through the cross. Maybe this is one of your symbolic things. But wouldn't it be better to put some words, phrases from the Bible while I'm sitting, I can, read and benefit from? This is the difference between Muslims also and Christians. The point is, Muslims, they gave attention to the Quran more than you imagine. We are now in USA, yet every one of us is trying, or he already did, or have been, trying to memorize the surah in Arabic. And the major thing in Quran, at-Tawheed, one God. What do we say? We all memorize it in Salah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Qul huwa Allahu. Very profound, simple surah. Al-Fatiha, what's the importance of why it's in the beginning? Just a little bit of the subject here. Because they call it as-Sab' al-Mathani, some people. Why it's so important? Because they say it is one of the deepest surah that touch base so many topics. Because when you say Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, that means you believe in God and He's Rahman Ar-Rahim, and you believe there is a judgment day. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'een. You seek Allah when you need help. And they say this surah is all about dua. Yeah, even if you do not make dua in the salah, when you are reciting Surah Al-Hamd, what you are doing? Dua. Because you say, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Who is Ar-Rahman? Iyaka na'budu wa ihdina as-sirat. Dua. Without paying attention. Yani Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you from the beginning, don't be afraid. Ask me. This is very nice. Back to our topic. So it was written, the Prophet assigned people to write it. Yes, some of them, they are now high quality people because the majority were illiterate, but he made sure among them, they are top-notch people like Ali bin Abi Talib alayhi salam, who's ma'soom. Third, to protect the Quran, the Prophet explained it to the Sahaba, and we have some narrations from the Muslims that they say the Sahaba used to read, they did not go beyond 10 ayah unless they understand the meaning of the first 10. Yani it is not just memorizing, also what? Explaining. Third, he assigned people. We talk about also the blessing of the Quran, we memorize it. And when I say memorize it, if we are after 1,400 years we still memorize Quran, brothers and sisters, what do you think the first generation? You think it memorized like us? So we had hundreds of thousands of people memorize Quran in every generation. Every generation. And this is another source of authentication. The fifth one maybe here is the Prophet said it very clearly, and this is America. This is what America. And sometimes you talk to atheists. Sometimes I do not know how these people, they think, I think they turn off certain logical circuits. Okay? So you go illogical sometimes, these people. You tell them it's among all Muslims. It was narrated that the Prophet ﷺ said, إِنِّي تَارِكُمْ فِيكُمُ الثَّقَلَيْنِ Sunnah and Shia. This hadith also in Sahih Muslim, and it's in our authenticated books. With authenticated hadith, we'll talk about what's authenticated hadith later on. إِنِّي تَارِكُمْ فِيكُمُ الثَّقَلَيْنِ Two priceless things among you. Quran and Ahl al-Bayt. Bukhari might say Sunnati. Okay, fine. Okay, it's your problem. But we have Sahih Muslim. He said what? Ahlul Bayti, my household. And Al-Bukhari said very authenticated hadith according to them, other school of thought. Because when I say Al-Bukhari is not Shia, I'm not here making differences. I'm just showing the school of thoughts. Al-Bukhari said it clearly. After me, the Prophet said, after me, we are going to have 12 Khalifa. I'll go to the schools of thought. Who has the 12 Khalifa? Count the 12 Khalifa. The Khulafa is more than 12, isn't it? Way more than 12. If you put Khulafa bin Umayyah or bin al-Abbas, you're talking about hundreds of years. So many of them. So now we talk about what? Who are those 12? The only place that's going to fit whom? 12 Imams. They start with Ali all the way to Imam Mahdi. What's the advantage of it? Here is the beauty. The Quran, the Prophet made them in parallel with the Quran, isn't it? Quran and Ahl al-Bayt. What does it mean? While the Sunni school of thought said, okay, the Quran is done here by the time of the Prophet, and now we start having little Sahaba, Tabi'een, and then we have the school of thought. Ahl al-Bayt and the Shia, they insisted on something totally different and more unique, and way much more, and way much stronger. What is it? The job of Imams, the Imams, they stayed after the Prophet more than 200 years. What was their job? We know they are infallible in our belief. They are ma'soom, sinless. They do not talk wrong. 200 years, Ahl al-Bayt were with the nation to authenticate Quran and authenticate its explanation. The Prophet did not just think about authenticating Quran. It also what? Consider what? A group of infallible people to assure that the Quran is going to be taught and explained by proper people. This is very important. We shouldn't know what, I think the ayah means this. The other guy, I think the ayah means this. Ya Habib, I'm telling the Imam is saying. So you stop, that's it. Who knows better in Arabic and the heritage of the Prophet? Ahl al-Bayt. It's very important. So now we have memorizing, we have it is written, we have it was explained, and when we say explained, this is one of the beauty of different opinions. And sometimes we say, oh God, how come you did not make this nation one nation? One point of view, one idea, we are happy family. Allah can download a file for us. This is the way you explain Quran, and done deal. The beauty of having different opinions is like the beauty of having a friction in nature. Big difference, but just as an analogy. You are from Michigan now, and you know how bad to drive in snow, isn't it? Without the friction, can you drive? Slippery road. What's going to happen to our cars? We need the friction. Imagine friction makes us lose energy, consume more gas. But we need it so we can take advantage of this momentum. Friction is needed sometimes. The reason sometimes we memorize certain ayat, verses in the Quran, because of dialogue. Because we have different opinions. I want to prove I'm right. Sometimes. Oh, no, you are wrong. So when we start debating, what we are doing to Quran, it's alive again. One of the major ayat that we memorize, if I want to talk to a non-Muslim person, Christian, right away I say, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Qul huwa Allahu ahad. Or if I want to talk about Ahl al-Bayt from the Quran, right away what do you say? إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل الأرض. Different opinions kept this knowledge alive. But Islam said, just do it in a wise, civilized way. Do not put people down. We are trying to seek the truth, not to put you down. This is very important. So, this is another evidence. Third evidence, one of the ladies, mentioned, is very nice. When we talk about written copy, doctor also mentioned this. When we talk about written copy, I'm going to tell you, inshallah, tomorrow, next week, I'll show you Birmingham. Go search it. The transcript or a script. Okay, when you come to college, this is the problem. There is a script, very old one, in Birmingham, London. Okay, in Britain. A copy of some pages of the Quran. It was dated, based on carbon testing, it was dated to the time of a Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Just put Quran, Birmingham, Britain. You're going to see. Okay? They tested that and they said, oh, this goes back to the time of Prophet Muhammad or just after him. That will tell us what we have been talking about. Sometimes when you have, something tangible, it's way much better than all this philosophical argument, isn't it? Oh, I see it. Wow, amazing. And guess what? You go read it. You feel you're reading Quran. Same language. After 1,400 years, Arabic is Arabic. The letters are letters. We changed a little bit. But I ask you, Jesus did not talk English. Did not taught us in English. His language maybe was what? Aramaic? Aramaic. That's Aramaic. Still, we have people they talk about it. If you watch The Passion of Christ, he speaks what? Aramaic. Good. Where's that copy? Sometimes one word might make a big difference. Go ask your lawyers. A point, a period can create a problem in a contract, isn't it? I'm talking about a book from God. How come it's not preserved? Where's that tongue? It was, spoken with. Where is it? Gone. Why in Arabic? The language of a Prophet Muhammad, if you know a little bit Arabic, the language, now in Arabic, we say Bismillah. Till now we use Bismillah. And we understand it. You say Qul is Qul, say. Yeah, some words are a little bit difficult on us, but in general, we can understand it. So the language in Arabic is still the same language. We don't have Quran in English. We have a translation. That's what we'll talk about later on. But we do not have, Prophet Jesus passed away. So let's, after 200 years, collect all these Bibles. We burn them, hundreds of different editions. And we say we stick with these, Bibles that we currently have. In Islam, we don't do this. We have a strong evidence here. The language is the language. The word is the word. Yes, the way we write it is a little bit different. We added points now. Tashkil, Fatha, Dhamma, and we put ba point here. You can read it. You can, if you go now to that website, I can read it. And you can compare it to Quran. They had ayat. No numbers, but you can see the ayat. And this is a very powerful thing, brothers and sisters. Why it was conserved. And this will lead us to the sister. Can I prove the Quran from the Quran? Here I can use it. What a miracle. A person in Arabia. He challenged his people. He said, can you make a Quran like this Quran? And their ultimate pride was what? Arabic language. What did they say? No. Oh, this is magic. This guy is a magician. No, we can't. They used to close their ears, because they love Arabic. And these words were charming to them. Till now, when we read it, we feel it is simple language. While in Arabic, if you go old Arabic poetry, man, it's difficult. It's hard. Why it was so smooth? That's one thing. Secondly, the Prophet, after challenging them, فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّثْلِهِ. Give me a small surah like Al-Kawthar. Al-Kawthar is like what? Three ayat? Sure. Go ahead, give me. Why? Because in the Quran, when we say it's a miracle, its language was eloquent language, concise. But there's something hidden. It has deep meaning. It was like oceans beneath oceans. One word today you think about it, tomorrow you find something else, tomorrow you find something else. Always there is this flexibility. The Arab people, they understood this. And that's why you might tell me, Sheikh, I'm American. What do you mean there is balagha in Quran, eloquence? Where is it? I don't understand it, man. I do not know da from kha, I can't even say kha. So where is it? Or ha, okay? Go now to the two things here we say. Ask those Arabic people, did they were challenged or not? Yes. The Arabic people, they're telling you give up. You cannot compete with that. That's one. يعني هلا مثلا I want to tell you, hey, this is a new idea, okay, and this is no one on earth did this invention. As a regular person, can you say yes or no? Well, what do? You go take it to lawyers, isn't it? Those lawyers, they are going to tell you, yes, it has a patent and this is a new invention. I'm telling you, this Quran is eloquent and this is one of his miracles. You don't take it to ordinary person to prove it. Where are you going to take it to? To the specialist. If the specialist, they say yes, what do you say? Yes. This is common sense. And some people, they say, no, I speak English. I don't see here any miracle in this language. Yeah, because it's not your specialty. It's common sense. Yeah. It's like I'm sick. What do? Let's go Google stuff or take this pill. You're all set. Well, I go to specialist. You need a specialist. If the specialist, if we have no specialist, yeah, you're right. But we always have a specialist. That's one thing. Secondly, profound meaning. Profound meaning. Till now, we read the ayah, we'll be shocked. Example. When I say profound meaning, it's not just because we meditate. Sometimes, no. It's hitting a couple examples. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. أولم يرى الذين كفروا أن السماوات والأرض كانتا رتقا ففتقناهما وجعلنا من الماء كل شيء حي. In English, those disbelievers, look how beautiful the ayah is talking about to disbelievers. يعني you're talking about people, they believe only, maybe, in this tangible scientific tests. I mean, if you don't put it in the lab, I don't believe it. So the Quran is saying, you disbelievers, don't you see that earth and heaven were one unit? Then we split them. This is an idea 1,400 years. Why a person, his ultimate technology was what? Camel, sword, desert, tent. Why he cares about heaven and water? Why? أَوَلَمْ يَرَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. Don't they see that the earth and the heavens were one unit? Then we split them. And from water, we made every living being. Look at this ayah. I'm not going to talk what's one unit. This is a different story. Is that Big Bang, not Big Bang? The sky is mentioned here, or the heavens. Is it our heavens, or talking about parallel galaxies, parallel universes? I'm sorry. We do not know. This is not my subject now. Because, there's a big argument. When we say heavens and skies in Quran, is it our skies? That means our galaxy that we see? Or our universe? Or no, we're talking about universe, another universe, another universe. It's not our subject. So, but I want to go all the way down to this ayah because I just want to use it as a small evidence. This is not our subject, mainly. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ. And هلا أنت imagine yourself you are living in a desert. Good? In a desert to survive, do you need only water? No. What you are going to say? We need water. We need air. And we need food. Yeah? So why the Quran only selected one item, water exclusively, and he did not say air and food? Why? وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ only من الwater. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ. Can you survive now in a desert without air? Forget whether they know oxygen or not. Can you survive without air? No, you die. So why the Quran did not talk about air, for instance, or food? Because nowadays in science, some of you, mashallah, doctors and study biology, we have certain bacteria, if you expose it to oxygen, it will burn, it will die. But there is no actively living being without water. And when they search for a planet to live on, the first thing they search for is what? Water.
So if you were to be atheist, can you answer this question? Why? It's amazing. That's what the sister was talking about. I said when I say miracles in the Quran, I'm not saying Quran is book of science. No. That's not the job of the Quran. But it has deep meaning. It will make you sharp. Especially if you read it in the time frame of the Prophet and you try to project it now. It's beyond that time. Another miracle, the Quran, brothers and sisters, sets a very important verse in the Quran. إِنَّا نَحْنُ نَزَّلْنَا الذِّكْرَ وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ. We revealed this book and we are going to protect it. So, Ya Habibi, after 1,400 years, so far this is what proven true. Why don't you believe? You know how many people tried to get rid of the Quran, get rid of Muslims. Islam survived. Though Muslims now, there are so many sects, ideas, survive. What kind of powerful self-confidence, if it were to be written by a man, a person, stand up. You know, you're talking about, we read it and easy. You're talking about a person in Arabia. Every tribe in the beginning was against him. Yani when the Prophet had a battle with the Quraysh, the first thing they might say, this guy is crazy. Who is this guy? They are like 313 people. We are Quraysh. We are the biggest, largest tribe with the best army in Arabia. Who are those, gangs, maybe they might say. Who are those? Yet, they survived. And the word, we delivered the book and we are going to protect it, survived. It's very powerful. And it is written. It's not like someone is telling you the story. What kind of confidence is this? And that's why. And to look at, in Arabic, I don't know if it sounds weird, but it's good to go back to Arabic. In English we say, I did this. Or I ate. You say, I ate. Yani you ate. Sometimes you want to confirm it more. Indeed, I ate. So this is more confirmation. Maybe sometimes, indeed, I did eat. More. You keep adding more stuff to make it more confirmed and you affirm that. In Quran, the Quran did not say we delivered the book. It did not say inna nazzalna dhikr. Or he did not say, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, did not say nazzalna dhikr. He could have said nazzalna dhikr means we delivered. He said we, inna nazzalna. Then he said, no, you know what, not inna nazzalna. I want to confirm it more. Inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra. Yani he confirmed it 3 times. وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ. Yani 100% of, confirmed this Quran will be protected. So as followers of Ahlul Bayt, as, lovers of Ahlul Bayt, as people who follow Ahlul Bayt, as Shia, Muslim, we believe that the Quran is highly authenticated, and we believe the Quran is the word of God that never been altered and never been tampered with and never been changed. We, through the teachings of Ahlul Bayt and through the evidence that we talked about, we firmly believe this is the Quran and this is the way the Muslims, they have the Quran is the proper way. And Ahlul Bayt, alayhim salam, they made it clear. Inshallah, next time I'll talk about it in detail. We have so many ahadith just talking about the hasanat and rewards when you are reading Quran. Ahlul Bayt used to tell us very important formula. We don't see it much in Sunni school. Any narration that you get, you have to compare it against Quran. If it contradicts with Quran, throw it away. This is not an authenticated narration. It's fabricated. Anything does not contradict Quran, welcome, will have. And this is another proof that Ahl al-Bayt want us to what? Stick to this Quran, respect it, consider it a main source, sinless, infallible book, okay, by all means, using some analogy. Now the rest, I'm going to keep it for questions and answers. Inshallah, next time I'll talk about Fadl al-Quran, and we'll talk about how we do this comparison between Hadith and Quran. Also, if we're going to be talking next time, we're going to talk about, hey, what's al-Qira'at al-Saba' in Quran? What's Naskh al-Tilawa in Quran? If I have ayah and I have hadith, which one I should take? Hadith or ayah? Is the hadith as much authenticated as ayah? This is another question. Who put the names of the chapters of the Quran? Is it the Prophet? And things like that related to the Quranic studies, inshallah. This is next. Now, you have questions, please ask. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Ladies first. Yes, please.
So if somebody like from Ahl al-Kitab, like Jews or Christians, were to ask for us to like authenticate the Quran, could we say that one of the like ways to authenticate it is that it's a continuation of those books? Like, doesn't the Quran say that?
You know, it is good, but this is to bridge the gaps. We say, yes, Islam started from Adam. Islam means to submit to God. So it's from Adam. The core belief of Islam is the same. You believe in God, in hereafter, you know, in the prophethood, in the books. Details different. Why different details? Because different circumstances, different, you know, intelligence of people, different atmosphere, different environment, just name it. So, can I say because it's talking about Jesus and Mary, that means this book is highly authenticated? This is nice, but it is not a good, solid proof. But it will make others show respect. I mean, when I see a chapter in the Quran called Mary, but I don't have a chapter in the Bible called Mary, it's something, it's an eye-opener. Or when I, in the Quran, see the name of Jesus mentioned more than the name of Prophet Muhammad, it's an eye-opening. Or when the Quran is telling me, yeah, as a Muslim you can get married with a Christian lady, but when I go to Christianity, if you don't belong to the same church, you're in trouble, that's an eye-opening. When Islam says, oh, those are the book of the people of the book, and Christians and Jews, we respect them, okay, though we disagree with certain ideas, but this isn't. By the others, I mean, I believe in Jesus. I'm not allowed to tear down the Bible. Even the Quran said in the Bible we have guidance and light. It's in the Quran. So what do you say about Quran and Muhammad as a Christian? It's a question. So we can see Islam is the biggest container. It really opened all the bridges to other religions. Show respect. It's not just a theory, but also as a belief. You cannot be a Muslim if you don't believe in Jesus. You cannot be a Muslim if you do not believe in Moses. And this is very amazing stuff. Okay? And this is your job, brothers and sisters. This is when the people listen to such kind of tolerance, they are going to respect you more. Because, you know, most of the people, they did not know about it. All that they know, they get them some verses here and there that talks about certain, you know, activities. But they are not aware. How do we look at other religions? Okay? Islam coexisted. If you go the oldest churches on earth, where are those? In Jerusalem, or in Nasr, or those places. Okay? Islam did not destroy them. Did not turn them into mosques. Kept them as churches. We have different opinions, but I respect your understanding. And Islam distinguished between a kafir, you know, a disbeliever, and a Christian. A Christian, he is you know, he's considered under the people of the book. You respect him. A disbeliever, that means he has no laws. Based on what I'm going to judge you. You know, you have no book, nothing, nothing. But those we share common, you know, beliefs. This is a very important point. Okay? Yes?
So I have two questions.
Two questions.
The first one is there significance to reading the Quran second question is, I know a lot of people might not know Arabic, so they might ask, why does Allah refer to himself as he?
Yes.
So I think that's...
We'll start with the second question. Well, this is a good question we always hear. Why always we say God, he? Especially nowadays, okay? In Arabic, we don't have this set of language like in English. English is very poor language. English is good for science. Not more than that. As an Arabic person, okay? With my full respect to other cultures. But in English, if you are talking to someone, you is what? He or she? I don't know. Okay? In Arabic and French, Persian, old languages, no, we have more specific things. يعني حتى أنت you come to things in Arabic. We have he and she. So he and she has nothing to do with male and female in Arabic. Okay? So we say maktaba. I went to the maktaba. Maktaba we say is feminine. بس مش معناتها female. Okay? سيارة. You don't say صعدت في السيارة الجميلة. You say جميلة. That means it's feminine. If I want to use these words. I don't want to make it Arabic language, okay, class. So, when it comes to so many things in Arabic, we have to be more specific. Same thing in French. Now, even in Hebrew, the same thing. Like, I'll give you an example. When it comes to respecting others, you are, we just met. I say right away, Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum is for plural. But you are one person. Why? It's a sign of respect. You are knocking on the door. Who is this? You do not say ana, me. It's a shame. You are showing off. You say nahnu, we. So when you want to talk to people, you put them in plural. When you want to talk about yourself, you use the plural to show humbleness. So different expressions will tell you he and she has nothing to do with the gender. Allah said it very clearly from the Quran. لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ. Nothing at all looks like God. This is our main ayah. So Allah, we say, has no gender, no shape, no hand, no face, no voice. He's beyond time, he's beyond the materialistic things, he's beyond weight, he's beyond density, he's beyond volume. Nothing looks like him. So that's why when you want to say he, we are referring to, a being, not a person. Where is the problem with this? The problem with this, because some places in the Bible, they refer to God as he, and they say we were created based on his image. We don't have this, okay, in the Quran. Some people, they say in Islam, they have it, some school of thought, but they say that means, on his image, not his shape, okay? So any place we read in the Quran, God has hand, for instance. We say this is a metaphor, that means he's strong. Allah, nothing looks like him, by the Quran. Is that clear? So he or she has nothing to do with God. Okay? But I can ask a question. As a Christian, why God send a he to humanity, not a she? That's a discrimination to me. Okay? Just think about it. Why he has to be he, not she? Jesus. Why not Mary? It's a discrimination. You're telling me man is more powerful than woman? It's a question. I'm not saying I believe in it. This is your first. Second, your first question. It's better to train yourself to read in Arabic because it's always good to have another language. It's good for your brain, good for your intelligence. And also sometimes if someone is raising a question about a word or a meaning, as an Arabic person, you have tools to go to.
Oh, I didn't mean the language. I mean brought down in the order that Ibrahim brought it down.
It was brought down as Arabic.
No, I mean
as chronology? No, it was, as I said in the beginning, no. The Prophet put every surah based on his...
We know which order.
Yes. That order is, they say, most of the scholars, they say it was assigned by God through Jibreel. Do this, do that, put that way. And that's why I gave an example of Al-Fatiha They put it in the beginning of the Quran. I don't know if you were with us in the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. Questions? Yes.
But isn't the